Hi everybody, this is Todd Oltoff from ToddOltoff.com coming back at you with another screencast. In this week, what I thought I'd do is cover the upgrade to iOS 7. So I know this is on upgrade day, and so I know a lot of people are looking at upgrading, whether they should upgrade or not, and don't really know what it looks like to upgrade. Now, some of you are a little more cautious out there. So I thought I'd do a screencast on the upgrade process so that you could see how it worked. Now, the first thing before we get started is you're going to want to make sure that your device is something you can upgrade. And so I found this compatibility chart, which kind of shows the different devices that can be upgraded. You can see here the nice thing about the way Apple's doing this is all the way back to iPhone 4 you can upgrade as well. But it does show that once you've done the upgrade, what are some of the services that will or will not function. So you can see the AirDrop service only works on the iPhone 5 on up, and then these iPod Touches, which are the more current ones, and then it works on the iPad mini and only the 4th generation of the iPad with Retina display. iTunes Radio works on all of them, but that's in the US only. Notification Center and all of that. Looks like there are some issues with filters that are in the camera and what they work on or not, as well as the panorama. But that was there before. So you want to make sure that your device is one that can be upgraded, and you can see here some of the, like I said, some of the things that are upgradable just by looking at this chart and looking across the top here to see the ones that you can upgrade. Okay, that's one of the first things. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have a current backup, just in case something goes wrong. You don't want to lose all of your data. And so there's a couple ways you can do that. Now, the first is to check it out on your iPhone as well if you're using iCloud for your backup. You go into settings here, you scroll down to the iCloud area there, you click on that. Then you come down to the bottom here and you want to go to storage and backup and click there. And down below here you can see whether you've got iCloud backup enabled or not, and it'll tell you when the last backup was. And you can see the last backup for me was around midnight, so I've had a day or so. So you might want to just click backup now just to start that backup process, just to make sure that all of your data is there and that you've got everything in the cloud before you do the update. Again, just in case something goes wrong, you might want to roll back and check some things out. I'm not exactly sure on whether you can roll back from iOS 7 to iOS 6. I haven't done any research on that to see yet, but at least if you've got a backup of your data, you know that everything is able to be at least restored at some level. So once your backup's complete, then you're going to want to go and look at doing the update. There's one more way though that you can also back up, and that's within iTunes itself. So let me let this backup finish, and then we'll go over and look at iTunes as well. You can see that the backup's completed, so that's all done. Let me just show you over in iTunes. Let me just pull up iTunes for a minute. And as you have your phone connected to iTunes, let me just stop that. On the iTunes screen itself, you can also do a backup to the computer instead of iCloud, but I've already done it to iCloud, so I'm leaving that alone. Or you can manually do a backup and restore, and so you can do a manual backup right now. As you can see, I've already backed up to iCloud. Everything's registering, so we should be fine. So now let's just go back to taking a look at doing the update on the iPhone. Okay, here we are back on my iPhone, and so let me just go back here for a minute. We're going to go all the way back. We're still in settings. Now that I've got everything backed up, I should be good to go. There might be some applications that may or may not function. I haven't heard of any major issues. I think everything works pretty well. But if you really have certain critical data that you just want to make sure everything works well, you want to give yourself some time. The update can take a little bit of time, as you'll see, so you definitely don't want to do this before you get on an airplane or something like that. That will probably drive you crazy. Okay, to update, you just click the General button here, and then you go right into Software Update. It will check for updates and show your iOS 7 update. And so you can click the Learn More button, which will just give you information about what's been updated and the things that have been changed. And like I said, this is a major operating change, so quite a few things have been updated. And then you just click the Download and Install to get going. So I'm just going to click that. It's going to ask me if I agree to the terms, which I will agree to. Ask me again to agree. And now it'll start the download process. And you can see the gears are starting to turn. It'll give an estimated time for download. And so as you can see, it says about 8 minutes or so to download. If you start to see different time spans changing there, it'll all have to do with the with your Wi-Fi connection. You can see mine keeps changing. So it just depends on internet traffic and how many people are hitting the servers and all of that. And so it's going to go through this process of downloading the software. And so what we're going to do is let it do that, and then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like once it's downloaded. With the initial update, it stays in this preparing update phase. It took about 8 minutes, let's say, to download, maybe 5 all in all, but then it goes to this preparing update phase. And that's taken about 24, 25 minutes all in all. So you would definitely want to give yourself enough time for the update to happen because it will take you a little while to get it done. And so I'm going to let this roll here till it hits the end so you can kind of see the next phase. And then we'll walk through the process, the rest of the process. Now I may or may not lose connection here at some point with the upload. And then what I'll try to do is with a try to do it with a regular external camera, and we'll see how that goes. If that doesn't work, then it'll just be like this. So you can see now we've sort of hit the end there. And so we're waiting now for the end of the update to happen. Okay, and so it says it's going to begin installing. Do I want to do that? I can do later, or I can let it do it itself. I'm just going to click install. And so what it's going to do now is verify the update to make sure everything's fine with the update. And I know some users have had some problems at this stage early on where it'll come back and say it's not ready at this point in time. We'll see if we get that message. If you do get that message, that's okay. Just keep going back in and trying, and eventually it'll take and finish the update. So I'm going to let it go in this state, and we will see what happens. Okay, so it's gone into the update. Then it's going to reboot. I've sped this up just a little bit so you can see what happens. And now it comes back on, and it's going to update again. So you'll get 2 points at which it will update. Your time may vary on this. It just depends how long it'll take for you, but I'm going to speed this up for our time. Once you're done, it boots you right into this hello screen. And so you just have to slide to unlock it. Takes you to the next screen, and your passcode now is to the left. It doesn't automatically show up on the screen when you slide. It kind of moves you over to the left. So you put in your passcode, and then it launches you into the app. Says the update's complete. Everything was done great. Hit continue. Now location services comes up, and so you either enable or disable them. So I'm going to enable them in this case. And then you have to put in your iCloud username and ID. So I put that in, and now we're going to update the iCloud settings. And now it talks about Find My iPhone, that it has more security built in so that it's harder for people to erase your phone. They have to have your Apple ID to do it. So click continue. And now welcome to iPhone. Just click get started, and we're launched right into the iCloud screen. And then it's just letting us know that Spotlight is not to the left anymore. It's off the top. And so you have to swipe down. Okay, and here we are with the new interface. This is the interface here for iOS 7. And as you can see, it's a little bit different, a little flatter with some of those things set up there. You can see that it just it has a little different look and feel to it. So I'll probably do a future screencast on kind of getting around iOS 7, but just wanted to show you what the upgrade process looked like and all the various steps to go through to make it happen. So that's all I have for this week. I'll be back at you next week with another screencast to help you learn how to do more things with your Mac.